Today we're talking about being spiritual. This is something that's going to help you guys with becoming successful, also taking action, and also pursuing your dreams. Anyways, guys, there's quite a bit to this topic. It's going to be more of a one of those videos that I'm not going to really have any points. I'm going to just be going off of what I've been thinking about, also what I've been watching as well. So there's other knowledge from other creators that I've been watching, paying attention to, and they made so much sense, and I'm starting to interpret it, and I'm trying to share it with you guys because you know what? At the end of the day, I want you guys to start achieving your dreams, or at least start pursuing them and start working your way towards that destination. But enough being said, let's go ahead and dive right into it. So first thing I want to talk about is come to a realization, guys, that you know what? You're a free spirit, and here's the thing. If you can think for yourself, think on your own, you're not, letting other people think for you. You have your own brain, you're conscious, you feel like you have a soul or a spirit. If you have desires, you know what? You're going to realize that, hey, you know what? You're your own individual, and you got to come to this realization that, hey, you know what? I'm not going to live forever. So it's one of those things that you have to consciously think about it. And best way to put it into perspective, where do you think you'll be in 100 years? And I can honestly guarantee you that, you know what, you probably won't be here. So it's one of those things that when you come to this realization in 100 years is pretty short. When you compare it to, how long the planet's been around, like the universe, all kinds of stuff, when you start thinking about stuff like that, it's so minute. 100 years to the year that we are currently, which is 2022, that's just a fraction of it, guys. So it's one of those things that you got to think about it and realize, hey, you know what, this is temporary. Once you come to this realization that, you know what, it's temporary, your presence being here, it's going to kind of like shock you there for a little bit. But when you come to that realization, you're like, hey, you know what, certain actions or certain things, like, what's stopping you from taking action on something, you're gonna be like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'm gonna go ahead and start pursuing this business or your dream. You're gonna take that chance of uncertainty because you realize that, hey, you know what, at the end of the day, my presence, my actions are gonna be temporary. They're not gonna last forever. So when you come to that realization that, hey, you know what, if you're afraid or you're embarrassed, whatever it is, that negative self-thought, you're going to come to that realization that, hey, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and take that opportunity, that chance, that uncertainty, and you're going to start pursuing your dreams. So it's one of those things that, it's really interesting when you come put into perspective. You come to that realization that, hey, you know what, this is temporary, and you realize that, hey, you know what, you're a spiritual being. Eventually there's going to be something after this lifetime. Lot to take in, guys. So it's one of those things that, you have to consciously spend the time thinking about it. You can't constantly be, overloading your brain with all kinds of information, all kinds of entertainment. It's one of those things that, you know what, you have to take a moment of silence. So normally for me, this is cruising. Don't listen to any music. Don't listen to any radio, whatever it is that kind of like puts you into this entertainment mode, this autopilot mode. You want to avoid that. You want to do something that's a little bit different than usual. So if you're constantly, like for me, for example, when I'm driving in the car, you know what, it's either audible or listening to the radio or music or whatever it is, and I'm like in this autopilot state. So to get me out of that normal, I turn off the radio and I just focus on driving, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, and you start focusing on these little subjects. Obviously, your mind's going to be bouncing from this topic to that topic and all that, but you got to focus on one topic. Eventually you'll bounce back and forth to that one topic, and you'll start thinking about it. Anyways, guys, my point is realize that, you know what, you got to start taking chances, start taking action, and that's how it's going to lead you to being successful, is coming to that realization that, you know what, whatever outcome, if it's good or bad, it's going to be temporary. It's not going to be, staying with you for the rest of your life or whatever. I mean, technically it does, but like what I'm trying to say is, it's not going to go with you to the next chapter. So think about it as a chapter, guys. Right now you're in book 1, or that's the best way to put it, is you're in book 1, and when you go to the next lifetime or whatever it is, guys, whatever you guys believe in, everybody has their own ideas, But think of the great unknown. That's book number 2. So think about it. You know what? Book 1 is right now, the present, and you need to start taking action and come to this realization that, you know what? Book 1 is separate from book 2. But anyways, guys, that's going to pretty much sum up the video. If you enjoyed today's video topic, don't forget to drop me a thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and check out some of my other videos. This subject did make sense and you guys did enjoy it, go ahead and comment down below. I would greatly appreciate some feedback if this made sense or not. But anyways, thank you guys for joining me here today, and I hope you guys have a great day and take care.